Hi there, this is Rebecca Olkowski with babyboomster.com. I write a blog for active women over 50 who aren't ready for rocking chairs but are ready to rock. So if that's you, I'm glad you came here. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell and leave comments below. Click the like button because all of those things help to support my channel, and you know, that's why that's why I'm here, right? No. Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about side gigs, side hustles, things that you can do to make extra money when you're in that retirement age space, which most of us who read my blog are. My blog's mostly for women over 50 or anybody over 50, so this applies to anybody over 50 who's looking to make some extra money to supplement your retirement income or your Social Security check or whatever it is that you've got, and you want to do some more stuff in life that you can't do unless you make some extra money. Some of us will be working for the rest of our lives, like me, who spent 40 years working as an actor, so hey, that's why I'm here. So anyway, I was going to go through a few things that you could do. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to pick some things that were fun and creative as well, because, you know, if you're going to do an extra gig, you might as well have fun at it, right? I know that's important to me. So the first thing is, if you like to travel and maybe you don't have enough money for all the expenses that go into traveling, like hotels, and you like pets, one thing that you could do is you could become a pet or house sitter in various places in the world. And there's a company that helps you do that, and it's called trustedhousesitters.com. I'm going to put a link below in the description. You don't get paid for pet or house sitting, but you do get a place to stay. And the thing is, you have to meet your responsibilities as a pet sitter or a house sitter. It doesn't mean you can drop your suitcase off and then, you know, leave the pet and go off on a tour somewhere. You still have to walk them and feed them and do whatever they need. But you could be sitting in the middle of, say, a country that you've always wanted to visit and hang out with the locals or walk in the local parks and kind of immerse yourself with the culture of it. I think it's awesome. The other thing is that you can use those same services to have somebody stay in your house and take care of your house or pet. So it's a membership site. You do join as a member, but I think it's a good gig. If that's what would make it easier for you to go other places than where you are, you can also do it locally as well. And then there's paid pet sitting. So there's sites like rover.com or petsitting.com where you could take care of fur babies in your local area. I know I've taken care of some friends' cats and for dogs. I stick to small animals. I don't want to get knocked over by a big dog or something, although I love all pets. So that's a fun thing to do. I am going to be taking care of my brother's pets in a couple of months, and he's got like 3 standard poodles, 6 cats, birds and chickens and all kinds of stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun for me. They are kind of big dogs, but that's okay. I won't be walking them all at once. There's a site called Rent-A-Grandma. Hey, how perfect is that? What it does is it puts older women in homes as nannies, babysitters, caregiving providers, chefs, tutors, and companions. And it's free to sign up. You may have to do a background check for like 25 bucks, but then you can go into different people's houses and take care of people. I think that's really cool. Mock juror. Now, that's an interesting thing. If you're fascinated with trials and how they work, but you don't necessarily want to sit in a jury room. I mean, we obviously have to do that every once in a while. But you can do this online. And what it is, I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Bull. That's what he does. He's a guy who works with lawyers to set up mock jurors so that they can find out how people are going to react to their strategies. There's a site called ejury.com. They only pay about $5 to $10 for each verdict, but could add up over time. There's also onlineverdict.com and jurytest.net. They pay somewhere around $20 to $60 per case. I think it would be really fascinating to do that. I work as a blogger and a social media influencer. That's what I consider to be my side gig. I taught myself how to blog. I work with brands doing reviews or checking out new things, products and services on my blog is I work with affiliate relationships, which means I've picked brands that I really believe in. And when I write content in my blog, I just put little links in various places that are relevant to what I'm talking about. And if somebody clicks on those links and they purchase something at no extra cost to them, I get a little commission for what they've purchased. And so the links are tracking links, and they give you a certain amount of time, like say it could be 24 hours with Amazon, or it could be longer with other companies. Anything that they buy on that site during that period of time counts. It's a very passive source of income, and it's a lot of fun. Or you can also work with ad networks like say Google AdSense or Ezoic or something like that, where you put a code on your site and it just brings up these automatic ads. And that can really add up over time, especially if you have traffic coming to your blog. I mean, if you don't have traffic, probably not, but it does take time to build up. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It does take time and work, but it's a fun business to do. I have a great time doing that. And I also have a little tutorial. I'll put the link below if you want to set up your own blog by yourself. You can do it in about 5 minutes and really get started with that. If you don't want to set up your own blog, you can also work as a content writer. So you might write content or blog posts for online websites or for online magazines or even print magazines. You could work as a freelance writer. The Writer magazine and Writer's Digest are excellent sources to give you tips on how to do that. And then there's also a site called ProBlogger.com that has job boards for bloggers and content writers. You could do product reviews and be in a focus group. So you get paid to write reviews and give feedback or ideas to companies and brands. There's a site called ProductReportCard.com that will reward you for taking product services. There's also a site called Swagbucks. And the other day I took a survey and was sent a $50 Macy's gift certificate. Hey, I was all excited about that. I got this shirt there. There's another company that rewards you with Amazon gift certificates or free products. It's called focusgroup.com. They give you reward points or Visa debit cards. So if you like to read, you might be able to get work reviewing books. There's a site called onlinebookclub.com. All you have to do is read a book. That could be fun, especially if you're an avid reader. You could also be a proofreader. So if your grammar and your spelling is excellent, you could try a site called proofreadingservices.com and see what you could do there. Maybe you like entertainment like I do. You want to do something where you entertain people. So maybe you can call a square dance, or you're a dancer or a singer, a speaker. You could do children's party characters. You could be a comedian, a magician, any type of entertainer, or even event personnel. You can find gigs like that on sites like Gigs Salad or Gigs List, or you could even go to say backstage.com and get paid work as an actor or an extra or something like that. Another entertainment job that you might try is murder mysteries. They do those in various venues, but they're doing some of those online because of COVID on Zoom. There's always going to be a part for the older woman or for the character guy. Why not have fun doing that? That sounds like a blast. There's a website called American Immersion Theater. Are you good online? Are you tech savvy? If you know how to set up a website, I was doing that for a long time. It was very lucrative. You can also manage email lists. You can set up people's social media profiles. You can create graphic arts for, say, websites or for print materials. You could work as a virtual assistant. There's various things that you could do there. You could probably find a lot of those types of jobs on places like LinkedIn. You can also get work on sites like Upwork and Fiverr. They take about 20% off of the asking price, but you can set your own prices on those. So you do have to build up credits doing that. You could also be a photographer. You know, so many of us are taking pictures on our phones, right? There's a lot of work that you could do as a photographer. You could shoot headshots. I know in Los Angeles, there's a lot of actors that need headshots all the time, but a lot of business owners, they always need headshots. So you can promote your services to them, and might even join networking meetings to do that, maybe on Meetup or something. You can also sell photographs to stock photo sites. There's sites like Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, Alamy, and FOAP, and I'll list those below. Then you can teach what you know. So, after decades of being on the planet, you probably are good at something or other. Maybe you know how to teach piano, or a different language, or you're good at math, chess, pottery. You could teach English to people, especially if you're traveling. That's a good thing to do. You could set up an online or an offline consulting business to share your skills and knowledge with others. Depending on those topics, you can just find out what people need out there, and if you know how to do it, go for it. You can also set up an online shop. So if you're an artisan of some type, like you sew, you make jewelry, crafts, you create art, you design note cards, or you collect vintage stuff, Etsy is a great place for that. That's a huge platform. And that's another thing where it's easy to set up a profile and add your products. It's much easier than trying to do it on a website. They do take a small commission, and as you start selling things, you also move up in the platform and get more visibility doing that. Another thing you could do is you could declutter your house. After decades, you might have a ton of stuff stored away that's just sitting in closets. So why not sell them to people? You could obviously have a garage sale, but the other thing you could do is you can do it online on sites like eBay, which is of course very popular. There's another site like OfferUp, which I sold some furniture to when I was moving, or Facebook Marketplace. They're all really great. But you have to be a little bit careful with those, because for some reason there's been certain scammers that have gone on those sites. So just be really careful. Get your money up front before you give anything out. You could take money on sites like Venmo or online stuff so you don't have to deal with money, or just get the cash, get the cold cash. You can transcribe stuff. So if you're good at typing, you can transcribe audio recordings for, say, physicians or medical or healthcare companies. I think it starts around $15 an hour. Some other industries might do that too. There's a site called Transcribe Me. There's also, of course, there's the ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft. My roommate does that. She drives for Uber. She just goes out for like 3 or 4 hours a day and drives around town and gets paid for it. Sometimes she ends up going kind of far away. You have to love driving to do that. That's why I'm not doing it. I'm not a big fan of driving. I try to drive as little as possible, but all you really need for that is a decent car that's under 15 years old, that has to pass an inspection, and just have good vision, obviously. That's a good thing. But all the transaction goes through the apps. You get tipped, you get incentives to make extra money, and then you get paid through direct deposits. So it's great. But if you don't like driving around, or you don't want to deal with passengers, the other thing you can do is you could deliver groceries on sites like Uber Eats, that's part of Uber, or Instacart. So people order groceries online and you pick them up and you just deliver them. And that's a nice way to make some extra income too, if you like to drive around town in your car. And you don't have to worry about keeping your car clean, which is another good thing. You can also rent out your living space. If you have an extra bedroom, or you've got a guest house or some other little extra property, you can rent it out on Airbnb or Vrbo, VRBO. You can meet some really interesting people from all over the world. I know some people that do that, and they really enjoy meeting all these people, and they come from different countries and stuff, and you get paid for your hospitality. There are some jobs that I don't recommend, or that I would say be careful about. That includes those direct sales or multi-level marketing jobs. I actually worked in direct sales for about 10 years and actually was very successful at it. But the thing that you have to be really careful is you know, you can spend more money than you make. That's a very common thing, because sometimes you have to buy certain amounts of product every month, or you have to maintain an inventory, or you have to book meeting venues or go to seminars or something like that, that can really, really add up. There's some great products that are out there that are direct sales oriented, but just don't get sucked up into it, because the percentage of people that are successful at that, it's very, very low. It's about 2% of people that are in those types of companies. The other thing to be very careful about are these real estate scams or real estate flipping, because what happens is you'll go to a seminar, and then they'll ask you to go to the second seminar, and then they'll ask you to put down a ton of money for all of their training materials. So unless you really get out there and you do it, you could be losing a ton of money. You have to be very committed to it, and you have to be very, very careful on who you're working with. The other thing is like those cryptocurrency things. I mean, I don't even understand what that stuff is. I mean, it's all like Greek to me. But day trading and cryptocurrency, that's another thing to be very careful of. So if an opportunity sounds too good to be true, run away like the wind. Just don't deal with it. Do with things that are solid, because the last thing we need as older people is to lose money. That's not a good thing. So anyway, if you've done some side gigs that you think you would like to share that I haven't mentioned, or you kind of have some feedback about that, please leave a comment below in the description. And if you like this video, please subscribe and click the notification bell and click the like button and leave comments, because that all helps. And thank you so much for watching this, and I hope it helps, and have a wonderful day.